monthly Emerging Technology Education webinar. Uh, this is an education on a broad spectrum of emerging technologies, including blockchain, AI, and most importantly, addressing real-world challenges effectively. We do this every last Monday of the month, and we appreciate you for taking time out to join us today. Um, so today's topic is crypto and AI scams and how AI and crypto are being used for scams. Um, this is being hosted by the Black Blockchain Summit, which is a summit that happens, every year at Howard University. But before I get into that, we'll start by saying a prayer. I'm from Zimbabwe, so I'll say a prayer in our local indigenous language called Shona. Let us pray. Mwari, tinouya pamberi penyu panguva ino yemanheru tichida kutendai nokutichengeta nokutungamirira kwamatita kwose kwatiri. Tichitungamirai mitingi iri pamberi pedu, tibatsirei iwe inofamba mune zvakanaka, tanamata nokutenda kuzita tenzi wedu Jesu Kristu. Amen. Amen. So yeah, the Black Blockchain Summit has been going on since 2018, and this year is our 8th annual summit, which is going on from the 26th to the 27th of September at Howard University, Washington, D.C. It includes a virtual and in-person live stream as well, essay contest, Bitcoin and Lightning workshops, exhibition for vendors and stands, students, authors, so as well as this emerging technology webinar that we're currently doing. So without further ado, my name is Tongai Choto. I'm the co-founder of AfriBlocks, and I'm also a software developer. AfriBlocks is a platform that allows you to connect to the top software developers, designers from across the continent. We have about 25,000 members on the platform in across about 8 African countries. So one of the reasons that we're doing this, webinar is to then go back and be able to build solutions that we can use in our day-to-day lives to better ourselves and assist our communities, Black communities globally, the African diaspora, to create solutions to our day-to-day problems. So that starts with webinars like this, and then it moves on to connecting with talent, which AfriBlocks can help you to do that. So today's topic is crypto and AI scams. So what is real and what is not real? What we'll cover today is what is crypto, what is AI, what are crypto scams, how scammers use AI, some red flags to look at, and real, cases, as well as how to protect yourself. And at the end, I'll share tools and the final checklist. If you have any questions, feel free to post in the chat as I go, and then I'll respond towards the end of this presentation. So right. So what is cryptocurrency? I'll start by defining what is cryptocurrency and what is AI before we move on to the scams and how we can protect ourselves. So cryptocurrency is a digital form of money that uses encryption, which is called cryptography, to secure transactions, and it is typically powered by a blockchain. So blockchain is basically the technology behind cryptocurrency, a decentralized and transparent digital ledger. So this is a ledger of transactions that is that is digital. Examples of cryptocurrencies include Bitcoin, Ethereum, which are some of the most popular, Solana, Cardano, Binance. There's so many cryptocurrencies, and the reason is because the very first cryptocurrency, which is Bitcoin, the code was open source, and that's basically the nature of cryptocurrencies and blockchain. The code is open source for everyone to be able to clone it, to be able to review it, to be able to reuse it. So now it has gotten to the extent that it's so easy for someone to just go online and create their own cryptocurrency, call it whatever they want to call it, put their own parameters, supply chain, limits, and all of that. Where the token holders, they can literally do anything. So that's why now people are able to just, create their own cryptocurrency, which we're going to talk about as one of the disadvantages that has been going on, which was supposed to be an advantage, but yeah, we'll talk about that. So the next thing I want to do is to classify, because cryptocurrency is digital, and then you keep it in a digital wallet. So that's different from the wallet that you currently have in your pocket, because it's physical. So there are two types of cryptocurrencies, and I want to explain this because that's one of the reasons why most people end up losing their funds or getting scammed. So one of the most important things in crypto is who owns or who controls your assets, you or someone else. So with the money, the cash in your wallet, you control it because you have it in your pocket. You are the one who takes a dollar note, a $10 note, and pays for something or keeps it. So the first type of crypto wallet is called a custodial wallet. So it's like a third party, like an exchange or a wallet provider holds your crypto for you. So, so wallet provider, for example, these are like Binance, Crypto.com, Coinbase. These are basically centralized platforms like the Google or the Instagram that we normally use to. They have a login and a password, except Instagram is just basically keeping your pictures. These guys are keeping your money, and you don't have what is called a seed phrase. So, seed phrase, there are 12 words that are basically your private key or your key to your wallet. So, these platforms are in custody of your money, your assets, and your private key. So some of the pros for this, it's easy for beginners. If you want to start out, you're used to logins, you're used to passwords, great. And then if you lose your password, you can just go back to Coinbase or go back to Binance, prove who you are, and then you can recover your account. And then it also often supports connections like to your Visa, to your bank, to buy, to withdraw, and things like that. The cons, or the disadvantages, is you don't own your private keys. You don't. Uh, if the platform is hacked or if it shuts down, you can lose everything. And you're done basically. And this is because these platforms are not truly decentralized, which is the nature of uh, cryptocurrency when it was created. The second type of wallet, and they always say, not your keys, not your crypto, or not your keys, not your coins. These are called non-custodial uh, wallets. So you control your crypto directly using your own private keys or your seed words. So if you have your keys, then it's your crypto. If you don't have your keys, then it's not your crypto. So examples include Bill Marie, MetaMask, or Ledger, which is now a hardware wallet, which basically allows you to store your cryptocurrency in what is called cold storage. So these wallets, custodial crypto wallets, are called hot wallets because they're hot. You can lose your money at any time, or they get shut down or anything like that. And these ones are called cold wallets because as long as you have your seed words, you are never going to lose that money unless you lose the actual seed words. And then that's one of the disadvantages because you have to keep those words. Depending on how you see it, it's an advantage or disadvantage. You have to keep those words. But if you lose them, you can't talk to anyone, you can't call anyone because you are the only person who had those private keys. Okay, moving on. So, the other side of things, we're talking about crypto and artificial intelligence. So, what is artificial intelligence? Artificial intelligence is the ability of machines, especially computers, to think, learn, to make decisions like human beings. And sometimes they can actually do it better. So, artificial intelligence has always existed in some shape or form for a while now in our day-to-day lives, except that, over the past 2, 3 years, it has started to become more, mainstream, more trendy. And if you look at things like Alexa, it has been there for a while, Google Assistant, Siri, well, it's not that good, but it has been there. Face recognition, for example, unlocking your iPhone, security systems all over the world. And then chatbots that just, became more popular like ChatGPT and, support. These have always been there. But what ChatGPT, I guess, has been a pioneer in the space, kind of unlocked, a more intelligent, if I may put it that way, chatbot or model that basically is able to construct what they call generative AI in terms of writing, images, videos. And then the smart predictions, for example, YouTube, TikTok is really good, Google search, this has always been there. Then in some, things like self-driving and even in like theaters and health, farming, this has always been there. Um, so again, in AI, there are now two types. I've broken them down into two separate categories, which is um, narrow AI, weak AI, which is what we have right now. Believe it or not, this is the AI that's um, AI that is designed to perform one specific task very well. So, for example, ChatGPT is really good in generative AI, chatting with it, basically constructing words, constructing sentences based on what you've asked it and based on the enormous amount of data that it has been trained on. Um, so that's answering questions. There's Google Translate. There's Siri, Alexa, recommendation engines, and the traits are basically, they're really good at one function. So, for example, there's the model Sora from ChatGPT as well, or from OpenAI rather. They're really good in creating images. Um, and then there are also models from like Gemini with Google. Um, they're really good at specific tasks. Like, you want to create videos. They're really good with that. You want to do math. You want to do chat. You want to construct essays, books. They're really good with that. But once you go out of that, say, task and wanted to do something else, it sometimes doesn't remember the context or basically just fails. So this is why this is narrow or weak AI. And then the second type of AI is general AI and basically strong AI. AI that can learn, reason, understand like a human across many tasks. So sometimes we underestimate ourselves as human beings. Our bodies, our minds, our biology is really, really interesting. Like we can process things, we can do this and that really fast, multitask, reason, understand, but we have, limitations, which general AI, which currently does not exist, but theoretically or in research, you've seen it in science fiction movies like Iron Man with Jarvis. So that's now strong AI, which people always think already exists, but it does not yet, and which people are almost, worried about that if it exists, then it might take away our jobs, take away our, I guess, who we are as human beings. So key traits of this is it adapts to any problem or tasks, learns on its own without being trained for a specific job. Yeah, that's the other thing. It learns on its own as well. And then you'll be able to think, plan, and reason. It will be able to think, plan, and reason like an actual human being. Okay. So AI has become really smart and really useful, but reality as we know it has started to shift. So this phrase, now I want to connect AI with crypto, but let's start here. There's what is called an AI slope, and there's more and more AI generated content on the internet every single day. AI generated, it can be writings, documents, images, videos, music. And because there's so many AI generation tools, most of them are free or like, super cheap. All of this is trickling down and sloping into our schools, our social media, work, news, day-to-day lives. There's fake news everywhere. The other time, my friend was asking me, "Hey, did you see this earthquake and whatnot?" I'm like, "I don't think that happened." But then, even if you go and search on Google, you don't see it. But there's, an article on WhatsApp about something that has happened that didn't happen. So this is what is called an AI slope. I'll give you an example. There's a platform called Pinterest. I used to really use it a lot for ideas like, hey, I want a nice coffee table that is white and black, and then I research. I see that other creators, and these are not just people that are just designers, but these are actual carpenters or people that fabricated a table out of glass or stone or something. And now you actually get to see those. But now it's almost like 50 or even more percent in terms of content on Pinterest that's now just AI generated, like straight up AI generated, to the extent that you're like, okay, that AI is cool, but like that table is like, it looks weird because it has some maze on top. Like, how AI is, it just sometimes puts random stuff. So now it's not usable because at the end of the day, we always go back to wanting to see what our peers or other people are doing. But now we're only seeing AI. So this has kind of affected the reality. You see something and you're not really sure, is it real or is it not? Because some of it can really like look really good. So in general, scams have existed for centuries. And the thing with scammers is they move fast to figure out new ways of scamming people. I think, centuries ago or years ago, before technology, people always used to be scammed, even with, I don't know, goats or beans or grain or something like that. And then the scammers started to get more sophisticated. And then we are always trying to catch up because we're good people. But the bad people uh, move fast, and in this case, to using new technologies. And we have to educate ourselves and our communities. Uh, there's this image here. It says, it's from Joe Biden. I'm giving back to the community, or Bitcoin sent to the address below will be sent back double. If you send 1,000, you get 2,000. Like, this is a scam, right? And you can clearly tell that it's a scam. But it's amazing, or it's unfortunate, the number of people that will actually fall for this and send their money. And what they always do is, if you see the last line says, only doing this for 30 minutes. So now you're like, it's agent, I don't have time to ask this person or that person, or I'm going to lose out on this, $2,000, get money back. It's almost like a gambling thing. And unfortunately, that's who we are as human beings. We we sometimes move fast and we're scared to lose an opportunity that looks shiny, but that's how that's how scammers basically get you. So some common types of scams include Ponzi schemes. I think we all know these. these are basically pyramid schemes. For example, BitConnect, Triple M. And the funny thing is, there was a time when Triple M was happening. One of my friends asked me, "What do you think about this?" I'm like, "Bruh, this is scam. This is pyramid." But they, I guess, didn't listen to me, went back, put in some money, and then the whole thing crashed just after they put in their money. Um, so it's unfortunate, but some of this, it's these companies and these people that you know, try to exploit our vulnerabilities as human beings to, to try to make ends meet and things like that. But at the end of the day, you end up losing more than you thought you would gain. Um, and then the other type of scam is rug pulls. So rug pulls, also known as exit scams, also known as pump and dump schemes. So what they do is, I mentioned earlier that now it's really easy to create a cryptocurrency. And since the code is there, people now manipulate the code to say, let's say, no one is allowed to sell for the first, 2 days or for the next or forever. And then because you cannot read code, you cannot read C sharp or C plus plus, trying to figure out what the contract is saying in on Ethereum, they'll take advantage of that. And then the next thing is, um, they call it a rug pull because you're standing on top of a rug. There's someone pulls it and then you fall down, and by the time you're trying to figure out what's going on, the rug is gone. So that's why they call it a rug pull. And then they call it a pump and dump because you're pumping. And what they do is they put out a token, to put out some marketing, get people interested, get people buying. And then what you don't know, in most cases nowadays, that you can't sell it. And then you're like, it's gaining value, it's gaining value. Let me try so, and then you can't. And then they are the only ones who can sell. They sell it, they make money, and then you lose your money. Um, so these are rug pulls, and then there's also impersonation, fake celebrities. Like for example, this one is from Apple. We're giving back to the community. We support Bitcoin and believe you should too. Or Bitcoin sent to this address will be doubled and will be sent back and doubled. And again, only going on for the next 30 minutes. That's what they do. Next 30 minutes. So now you're like, this is Apple. Apple, there's no way. This is just an image, by the way. But, we don't function like that. You're like, this is Apple. Let me rush to, I don't want to lose, out on this opportunity. And then you're never going to get that money back. Um, Next thing is, the phishing sites, fake sites, like, on top of the actual site, you can have some plugins that cause you to be taken to another site that is not a correct site. This Then there's also, giveaway scams. These happen a lot on social media, and these scams look very real, and anyone can fall for them. But the reason why we're doing, this section is to make sure that we don't, and then we also share with our friends and families to, to make sure that we all don't fall for this scam. So giveaway scam, say, send, $1 and then you get back the money as two, which is similar to what this one from Apple is saying. A case study, in October 2021, when there was a Squid Game, the movie, it was, really interesting. Everyone is talking about it and everything. And these guys are the guys that created a Squid Game token, and it went viral. People were like rushing to buy it, thinking it's real. And then they were failing to look at the information. Who's behind this? Who's the founder? Where are they from? Then they were just buying, and then the value went as high as $3,000, if I remember. And then the people behind it sold everything. And in their code, there was no way for anyone who had bought to sell, to opt out. It was a done deal, and they stole about 3.3 million in a matter of seconds. So that's an example of a pump and dump or a rug pull that happened in recent years. Now, moving on to common types of AI scams. So this right here, these are images from a still images from a video. And if you can see, they're all slightly different. And these are called deep fakes. So deep fake, and this is a really huge challenge, is how we have our pictures on the internet, on Instagram and whatnot. Scammers are now able to actually take your picture, take some of your videos, and use AI to create a deep fake. It is still kind of complicated, but the technology is getting easier and easier for people to do that. For example, there's also voice cloning. They can take your voice or imitate friends or families, send you a voice note like, "Hey, I'm in trouble," or "I just lost my wallet." Maybe your friend is out of the country, and they always see things like that, like tiny details, like you've traveled, and then so if you get a voice note from your mom, I need $500 right now. I lost my wallet. I don't even have my phone. I'm using someone else's phone. What you're going to do is you're going to send that money, because of course this is family. But that's how they're using these deep fakes and voice cloning to steal. And then there's also fake customer support agents. This is common, like you can get a call from your mobile data company, from your internet company, or from your bank. Hey, your bank was about to be hacked, but we have prevented it. Can you just give us your password so that we can confirm that everything is good? And then you are in shock, and then you're not really thinking. You give them, and then the next thing, your account is hacked, or your iCloud is hacked because they got your passcode. Um, and then, AI writing, like that's one thing is really good with, writing emails like, "Hey, this is what's happening," stories and things like that. So these are some of the common types of AI scams. So now I want to connect these two, um, and give you an example of AI plus crypto scam. So scams have existed for centuries, like we just talked about, and the only thing is creating scams is now been made easier and faster than ever with AI. So most scams are made basically to steal your money, right? Let me try to share this one. I want you to see this video. I hope you can see my screen. Okay. So this says Strive Masiwa has introduced an investment method that can turn $250 into 1,500 into 1,500, 15,000 per month. So that's a catchy, right? Phrase. And I'm from Zimbabwe, and Strive Masiwa is one of the technology entrepreneurs, pioneers, who most people look up to. He's one of the richest people in Zimbabwe and the world, black billionaires, and he has helped the country in a lot of ways, through his products, through his companies. So when people see his name, they want to know, what is next. For example, he just made a deal with Microsoft to and with NVIDIA to do AI clusters on the continent. So people are interested, in listening to that. So I'll play this video.
From this moment on, the people of Zimbabwe no longer need to work. Strive Masiyiwa, a millionaire from Zimbabwe, recently made this statement and introduced a new project in which he has invested $3 million. This is the first project of its kind.
First of all, I want to say that this method is suitable for absolutely everyone, and I guarantee that within the first few hours of using it, you will be able to earn good money. My new project, Crypto Explode AI, the best way to fight inflation and poverty.
So I'll stop. The thing with AI, like this video right here, it's a combination of images, fake voice, fake video, and a crypto scammer. So before we proceed, I'm going to say this is fake. I want anyone to be going back and say maybe it's true. This is fake. So that's how they get you. So now you're not really looking at the small things, like you can see the way he's talking, the way he's moving. And then they've put in a logo of SABC News, which is a South African news channel that people also trust. So they're trying to gain your trust, and then they throw in, things that you then start to ignore. So I'll play one more second because I want you to listen to all of it. I want anyone to follow up and
Together with a team of top developers from around the world, we have created a unique program that allows you to increase your income from $250 to $15,000 in.
So if you see the movements, the mouth, all of that, you can tell that it's what? It's not true and it's fake. But some people cannot. And that's just, reality. And the other thing is, the promises. Like you have to really look at the promises. There's no way you can turn $250 to 15,000 for everyone every month. So those are some of the things, and the red flags that you should check for when interacting online with crypto, with AI, or with anything else, basically, is to the red flags. For example, the agency, like send now, next 30 minutes. I think this one was talking about going on for next 30 minutes, going on for next 30 minutes. So they use agency to be like, if you don't do it right now, you're going to lose out. And then unrealistic returns. Like there's no way $250 to 15,000 per month. That doesn't make sense. Unrealistic returns, 2x in 24 hours. And then the project is no website, no founders, no nothing. It's just a link that you just found randomly and then you send money to it. That's some of the red flags you should check. And then suspicious links, like if you see this one is a suspicious link, right? Like who's want to, like it's fake links. And then poor spelling, grammar, because they're just pushing out probably like 300 messages to 10 million emails and see maybe 1,000 people or 10,000 people will click on the links or respond, or some will make payments. That's what they're doing, because right now they won't be, it's not like they're doing physically. They'll be using computers, automate them, and those computers will just be sending out things. So that's why even in your email, there's that spam folder that's always is something there. And the other red flag is things that are too good to be true. It's just it's life. You can't just that another way to think about it is even like in real life. Not just to say this is crypto, this is online. If it's in real life and you're just walking outside and then someone offers you, give me 250, I'll give you back as 15,000. That's another way to think about this. So you always have to double check and verify everything. And then also protect yourself. Never share your passwords, your seed phrase with people. Always use trusted cryptocurrency sites. In some cases, those that are actually, registered, regulated. That's also helpful. Then use cold wallets. So a cold wallet is that one that we talked about, where you have your seed words as opposed to the custodial wallet, where you basically have a password and email. And then verify social media accounts. Sometimes you can have a message from your bank, or that looks like your bank. It's important for you to at least verify, see, is this really the account? Because sometimes they might change one simple thing. Instead of Apple, maybe they have an R at the end, and then you don't really check. So slow down. Scammers use agency, like we have seen. You need to slow down, read and ask people, verify, because that's what they do. They say, do this in the next 1 hour because they want to get you before you talk to anyone else. Tips for entrepreneurs and freelancers: avoid sharing wallet addresses, just like you don't share around your bank details in public platforms. Don't do that as well with your digital, wallets and things like that. And don't click random links. This, I think, we have known for a while, whether it's in your emails, in your WhatsApps, in your Discord. Don't click those random links. Some of them have viruses, malware that will affect your computer. So don't do that. Always open emails that you know where they're coming from or people you trust. And there also, there's been also the fake job offers in crypto, and then also try to use escrow as an entrepreneur or freelancer when you're doing a job, when you're interacting, offering a service. Money is placed in escrow, the job is done, and then money is collected. It protects both you as a client and as a freelancer, which is one of the advantages for using our platform, AfriBlocks. So some tools, again, there's so many tools, but these are some of the platforms that I've personally used. There's Token Sniffer, this one, which basically allows you to, because each contract or each crypto has its most of these tokens are created probably on Solana or on Ethereum. They have smart contract addresses. You can track that address and put it there. I can put it on Etherscan as well or on Token Sniffer. So Token Sniffer allows you, if someone, it's almost like a crowdsourced platform. Same thing with chain abuse, where if I get scammed from that address, I can, be help other people not get scammed by posting it on this platform or on these platforms as well. And then when you come and ask, then you see that, Tongai had this issue with them, so we probably should. It's almost like what can I call it? Yeah, never mind. But it helps with, uh, crowdsourcing fake or malicious or scammers. Same thing with Etherscan. Etherscan now shows you, for example, there's this token that was created, and then you see like the 90% of the resources or 90% of the supply is still owned by one wallet. So that's a red flag because that means basically they own the whole token. Or you can also see some suspicious activity. Maybe when people are buying, they're literally moving money to another address. That's also something you need to look at. Then there's just who is a domain checker. It just basically lets you know, because most people have. You can still put it on private, but if you check, you can see domain ownership. That's also a process. It's not foolproof, but it also helps. And then there's some plugins that you can place on your browser, for example, on Chrome, that can, when you open the site, they basically tell you like this is a phishing site, or there's a fake site, or there's a scam site. Yeah. So how to protect ourselves from AI scams? Um, so verify. Always try to verify. If you get a voice call, not a voice call, if you get a voice message or a text that says, "Hey, this is your wife. Can you send $1,000 urgently?" One thing you can do is to literally call, like, "Hey, um, did you send this message?" Because I understand, like, there's the agency, like, like, what's happening, and you want to send money to help out fast, but a call is like 3 seconds, and then you just save yourself and your family a lot of financial distress after sending to a scammer. So that's one thing. And then never share your seed words, and then slow down, question agency. Every time someone's trying to rush you, slow down, like, "Hey, I'm just trying to buy some shoes, why are you trying to rush me?" Slow down. and then double check URLs, profiles, websites, links. Don't click on unknown links in DMs, on WhatsApp, email. Don't just click on everything. And then yeah, stay informed. This webinar is part of the process to educate ourselves on things like this. So stay informed. Always make sure you share this information with friends and colleagues as well. All right, so what I call a scam-proof cheat sheet. So this some of the questions you have to ask yourself. Does this promise guaranteed returns? Like, you're definitely going to get 2,000 tomorrow. That's a red flag. Is anyone rushing me? Like, do this in the next 30 minutes. That's an issue. Is this a known or trusted project? Like, where's their website? Who is their CEO? Who's their team? What's their history? Do they have a LinkedIn profile? Do they have an email address? Like things like that. And then still, have you verified this project from multiple sources? Have you looked at their, which it's always multiple things. If you looked at their white paper, some of them have really good white papers, but that's all they have. If you looked at their team, if you looked at their social media, you have to do multiple checks. If you asked your friends, if you asked the community, post on Discord, ask some people, like simply asking like, hey, what do you think about this project? And then people will tell you like, don't do this, or we don't know, or anything. But all of these, it's never one source. So use multiple sources to verify. And then I like this because when people are in crypto, for some reason, they start to feel like there's a different space. It is, but the way we do our day-to-day lives should almost be the same in the physical and the digital world. In the physical world, I think I've mentioned this before. You don't just meet someone randomly on the street or on a train or on a bus to work, and then someone says, "Hey, give me $250. I'll give you 15,000 tomorrow or in a month." That never happens. So if it doesn't happen in real life, why would it happen online? Just be skeptical. So scammers are using AI, and so should we to fight back. AI is available to everyone. Crypto is available to everyone, and the one of the reason why the Black Blockchain Summit and what we have been doing has survived for this long through ups and downs and regulations and all of this crypto winter, is because we never chased the trends. So don't chase the hype or trends, chase the knowledge. Always been trying to say, how can we use blockchain to better our communities, to better ourselves, to improve, to find solutions to day-to-day problems and challenges that we face using technology. How can you use blockchain? How can you use AI? How can you use these emerging technologies? It never was, how can we speculate to earn money tomorrow? Or how can we get into this fast, get out? So don't chase the hype or trends. Always try to chase the knowledge. Web3 is powerful, but safety is important. Stay informed, share what you learn within our community so that we can grow together and we can develop solutions that last, centuries and generations. So yeah, thank you. This has been me, Tongai Choto, presenting on Emerging Technologies Education Webinar, Crypto and AI Scams, how AI and crypto are being used for scams. So any questions? Any questions? Yeah, I see you're asking about where to learn more about cryptocurrency. So we have the Black Blockchain Summit that is coming up, and that has been going on for the past 7 years, since the 8th, and we have a lot of content from amazing and leaders in the space globally, that talk about all the kind of topics you can think about in blockchain and in crypto and development. So it's available on our website, Black Blockchain Summit. It's also available on our YouTube. You can go and rewatch some of those videos. Well, I see you talking about certifications. So in terms of certifications, I think you can um, I recommend BitHub Africa. That's one space where there's also really good content and classes. And then I also recommend that you read the Bitcoin white paper, because that's where everything sort of started, and it's public, and most importantly, it's free. Because there's some of these, online platforms that say, hey, you're getting a certification, and the next thing, you're just basically reading stuff that is available for free anyway. So I would recommend, you start there by, reading online, and then maybe, but getting a certification sometimes is just, spending money to get information that you can otherwise get for free. So yeah, the Bitcoin white paper is really good. And the Ethereum as well, just to understand the actual technology behind crypto, which is blockchain and smart contracts, and how all of that works. Any questions? Oh, great. Thank you. I appreciate it. Okay, so as I wait for more questions, so AfriBlocks is again, I'm the co-founder of AfriBlocks, which is a platform, a Pan-African freelance talent platform that connects you with talented professionals and freelancers from across Africa. So these include software developers, designers, and at affordable pricing. Our email is info@afriblocks.com, or our website is afriblocks.com. So, reach out to hire top African freelance developers and designers, because the whole idea of this is, after, we've talked about this, after we've discussed this, now you want to develop solutions, and we are saying we have the talent, we have the developers, designers to make your ideas and solutions come to reality. Then yeah, the Black Blockchain Summit again, 26th to 27th September at Howard University, Washington, D.C. Since its inception in 2018, the summit has experienced remarkable growth, attracting tech enthusiasts from around the world. The Black Blockchain Summit is a groundbreaking event at the intersection of applied sciences and social sciences, dedicated to addressing the unique needs and aspirations of the Black community. So tickets are available at blackblockchainsummit.com. You can also email at info@blackblockchainsummit. I'll respond with some our appreciation. I think we'll probably get you a promo code for attending this webinar right until the end. We appreciate that. So yeah, that's the Black Blockchain Summit. Be sure to attend, either virtually or in person. It's available, both options. So yeah, any questions? Any questions? Okay. So yeah, thank you everyone. I won't take much more of your time. I appreciate you for spending, over, 50 minutes of your time uh listening to what I had to say. I appreciate that a lot. Thanks again. Talk soon. Bye.